Hello, this is lesson number 4 for blind photography workshop. Now today we're going to talk about form and texture and why form, why texture. This is to heighten the sensory of touch or for the photographers or for our blind friends or visually impaired friends. Now why do we need form to know about forms? Now forms is very informative. Textures and forms are informative to us, even for the visual corrected people or visually impaired people. I think is even more important now, and we want to learn what textures and form and how textures and form can give us feelings and also relate our stories. Yeah. So one of the things that when you touch maybe a very smooth surface, you know there's glass, and you touch something very rough, you know maybe there's stones or rock. But there must be something that make you touch those things, and after touching them, there must be a feelings or perceptions that follows. So we are trying to capture that visually, or visually in the story, what that represents. Yeah, beside highlighting or mastering the sensory of touch for our visually impaired friends. Now, as some of beautiful pictures, very touching pictures. Now that is also textured. This is a picture from Tang. He have his son sitting on his lap, and then he took a shot of the son from the top of the son's head. So you can see right in the middle, at the bottom right, the bottom middle, is the son's head, swirling hairs around the head, the textures of his hair, and then the son is holding a phone, playing one of those computer games, right? And they are in a train, so they're waiting for the train. So this is a wonderful pictures, how textures relate to emotions. And also has a little story of a funny little stories. So this is a wonderful pictures of how textures can relate to stories. Beautiful pictures from Tang himself. He's on his way back to the hostel for the blind, and the wife and children are sending him back to the hostel. And Tang is a B1, visually impaired person. So what happened is in the car he can hear the rain. In the car he can hear it's raining outside, and he kind of like hear all the sound of the hawkers outside the cars. So he knows that he's passing through the hawkers, and he can hear the rains slowly dripping onto the windscreen. So then he took a shot of the raindrops on the windscreen against a blur background of some hawkers stores. So this represents a very quiet, maybe sad moment in his life, or maybe some longing kind of feelings inside the picture. This is how texture can relate the story. A wonderful picture by Aha. He touches these doorknobs every day when he in his room, when he have to get in and out of the room. So it's a beautiful doorknob, the texture of a cold stainless steel. And this is the beautiful form from this doorknob. But the story is the little blue tape, duct tape on the door lock, that he put a duct tape at the door lock there just to make sure they themselves, because he's a visually impaired person, so he doesn't want to lock himself out from the room. So what they do is they put a piece of blue tape onto the doorknob so it doesn't lock them out. Then that's the story. Yeah, the texture on the metal doorknob, and then there's a blue tape on the door lock. It's a beautiful correlations of open and don't want to be locked. You can open the door in and out, but you do not to be locked out. So it's a wonderful picture. And this is from Susie, I believe, that she hear the sound of the fountain, and then she can hear the bursting of the bubble. She can hear the bursting of the bubbles, and then in the fountain there's some fish swimming around. Yeah, so these are the textures of the bubble, and in a way the texture of the reflections of fishes inside make a very quietening and very peaceful pictures. A wonderful texture pictures by Siva, I think, is of leaves, of green leaves on the bark of a tree. Yeah, and there's some little small leaves around the bottom of the tree. Then you have some dry leaves, some moss on the tree. So these are texture that brings out and also the colors that brings out the beautiful compositions or design of the picture. This is one of my favorite picture by Rashidi. He went back to his hometown, and he was a rubber tapper, and also the parents are still rubber tapper. So this is a mirror on being nailed to a rubber tree. Yeah, the texture of the tree, the bark, the tree barks forms the lower part of the picture, and then the upper part of the picture is formed by two large nails and a mirror nailed to the tree. And then in the reflections of the mirror, there is a reflection, the picture, a flag of Malaysia. So you have a flag of Malaysia in the mirror, then you have the three textures at the bottom of the pictures, and the two big nails kind of like holds the whole pictures and the storytelling here. How the country has been formed, Malaysia has been formed by rubber tapping industry. So through textures, through stories from touch and feelings, we can relate how we feel.